What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and I'm back with something a little bit different. I'm talking about something that's both kind of old, kind of new, and I'm talking about the reissue version of Transformers Beast Wars Ultra Class Optimus Primal. This is a toy I've always wanted as a child, but being as I was born in 1998, never really had an opportunity to grab him. Never really saw like any of the other reissues in stores when I was a kid, but I saw videos of this when I was younger, and I was just like, I want this figure. And finally having it, and yes, this isn't the 100% original vintage version of the toy, but reissues are just kind of the easier ways to get it. And this was a gift, so I really do appreciate that. This was a nice gift. Storby gave this to me, and I really do appreciate this. This has just been something I've wanted for a long time, and the fact that they recreated the box, or it's like, I don't think it's 100% the same, but it still has the Kenner logo. It's like the heroic Maximal Optimus Primal launches Mega Blast cannons. Like, I just like, you don't get blurbs like that nowadays. I don't know. I like the artwork of Optimus Primal that looks nothing both like the toy or how he looked in the show. Where it's like, he kind of looks like the show. He has the flail, but that gun arm is... No, I guess... No, it still looks different. It's still weird. And on the top, you got the image again. Gorilla turns into heroic Maximal robot! And all that. 8+, I think I'm good. You got the classic dinosaur eye. And you got the rest of the re-release wave 1, which I do have this whole wave. So if you guys want to see the rest of these, I could do it. I'm about to say, we will see Cheetor in a little bit, which I'm realizing it shows he has a Maximal sticker, like a little Maximal logo, but the regular Cheetor doesn't have that. Interesting. So that's interesting to see. And honestly, I'm realizing this Optimus Primal back here looks a lot brighter than the Optimus Primal and then this. And I think that one has a different... I think these are the pictures of the original toys, not the real releases. Because the re-releases have a slight paint differences. Like the helmet on Optimus Primal is much darker. But we'll see that in a little bit. We get the little blurb of what Beast Wars was with biogenetic engineering. The Transformers create a perfect synthetic fusion between ferocious animals and mechanical technology. The result, the heroic Maximals versus the evil Predacons. Even though the Predacons was already a faction in Transformers. That always made me wonder. So, like, the Autobots go into the Maximals, but the Decepticons become Predacons. But the Predacons, like Predaking, like that team, they were just like, yeah, you know what? We should name our race, our allegiances after us. That's what we should do. You look at his stats. He's got 10 across the board. Oh, he's got secret weapon locations. Right forearm, mace whip, dual attack spinal swords. And that's kind of it. The rest are in different languages. We have Optimus Primal, function, Maximal General. Optimus Primal has biogenically re-engineered his body to structure into a gargantuan robotic gorilla. Cyber what? Why did they make this so weird? I feel like they made these big words just so kids would just believe it. They'd just be like, okay, yeah, cybernatality fused to molecular. Oh, musculature has enhanced strength to superpower levels. Is it just so kids can buy it? They'll just be like, yeah, those big words make sense. Where it's like, do any of those legitimately make sense? Like that's just so weird. Again, we have the art. You can cut it out. Biotech spec, clip and save. You got Hasbro, and it does say 2021, so it will tell you that this is the re-release. Got the bottom. Nothing really else. Like the flaps, I was wondering if the flaps would have anything, but they really didn't. And that's the box. Honestly, I think it's really kind of cool, but I do find it funny that he was just kind of like T-posing in the box. I just thought that was funny. So, let's get the box out of here, even though that was a nice little thing. Like I said, I've always liked this figure. This is something I saw from, like, I found out about, like, about old Transformers and everything. When I saw, Ultra Class Optimus Primal, I was just like, this looks like a fun toy, and I've always just kind of wanted one. And he looks pretty good. Like, for something from the 90s, I still think this is a toy that holds up. It's not perfect, but there's no way that Beast Formers would ever truly work. Like, even looking at, like, modern Beast Formers in Transformers Kingdom, like, yeah, they look a little bit better with how they hide their kibble and have a little bit more articulation, but there's really nothing else. I like the, like, cartoony monkey face where he's just like, "Arr." And this definitely isn't cartoon accurate, like, again, but it just looks kind of cool. You can move his arms all the way around. You can move his elbows. He has kind of this, but then you get, like, that ratchet, which that's for a gimmick I will show off in a little bit. And you get... His legs aren't really meant to do anything, because if you move them, you reveal the robot legs, so you're really... And if you move it out, so... It's kind of really only meant to do, like, this one pose. But, if you noticed, there's a little lever in the back. I will get to the other gimmicks in a second, but this is the one gimmick you gotta show off in gorilla mode. So, if you get his arms into a interesting looking position, you get this, and he gets to flail his arms. Yeah! I love this gimmick so much. And if you get it right, you can get him pounding his chest. It's just like, I'd worry about his paint chipping, honestly. Like, that would be my big concern, is like paint chipping. Like, that'd be my concern. But, like, since you can really put his arms in any position, you can really just get him, like he's just doing a happy dance. He's like, like, that's one of the big reasons I love this toy. It's such a weird and stupid gimmick, but honestly, it's cool that you can just, you know, you can still pose its arms around and everything. Like, the gimmick doesn't cost Optimus Primal everything. Yes, you get that weird gear grinding, but that's just kind of the consequence of the time. So, overall, like, that's really the big gorilla gimmick in it. Let's bring in some size comparisons. I obviously showed off earlier. We have Beast Wars Cheetor. This is the original Beast Wars Cheetor. I did not bring in any I brought in some Kingdom figures, such as Grimlock. I'm not going to be transforming him earlier, but to compare to another Voyager class, I also have Mutant Tigatron. So, he's a big gorilla. He's a chunky figure. So, if you want to bring in Spider-Man, and we got SHF-01, which, honestly, that's not that bad of a scale of gorilla. So, that's pretty cool. We got Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. And last but not least, we got Nindoroid Skeletor. So, let's get into his transformation. His transformation's honestly pretty easy. This is what I like to do. I like to fold the legs. You gotta flip his like little monkey toes and reveal his big toes. And flip his little legs down. Twist him at the waist, which may pop these out. Do not let them pop these out, or oh god, you can see kind of gets into a little bit of a cluster. Spin that around. Spin his arms and orientate them however you'd like. Flip out his shoulder pads. He's getting a little taller. Let me move back. Stand him up a little bit. Take his monkey face. Just like pull it down. Flip it around. And you get the reveal of his monster face. Ooh. Which is something they did in the early line for some reason. Like, I can't even fully remember. And if I remember correctly, it's actually supposed to be more like that. So you have his, like, he has, like, tusks. I think that's how it's supposed to be. I had it transformed wrong. But like I said, it has a lot more of a darker metallic blue. More, which I think is more show accurate. And honestly, also, look at that detail within the mask. And everything. So that's cool. Honestly, I do really like the bat face, but I'm gonna go with the more Optimus looking head sculpt, which I do like. I don't mind it not having a mouth plate. Honestly, that's not a deal breaker to me. And I do like the white and the darker blue in comparison to, like, the light blue and the gray. I don't hate it. Like, I will take either one, but as this is the one I have, I do not mind it. I do wish that this little part had the red paint from one of the versions. I do like the red paint here. And he pretty much has all the same articulation. You can even use the same gimmick. But if you notice these little things on his arms, we'll bring those up in a second. Also, you can store 2 of his missiles in there. But, like I said, he has, like, all the same articulation, but now he has knees and legs, so yeah. And his head moves all... It's, like, on a ball joint, like, stick, so you can really get it into any position you want. But, if you want him to have more firepower, if you pull this tab, pull forward, I think, bing, bada, boom, you got a honkin' cannon. And if you want to move that up, you know, I'll move both of them up just to show you for now. You know, let's show what's in this other arm. So you squeeze. Oh god, it's a little tight. You squeeze it, and you can pull out this little, like, skull mace flail. I know the back of the packaging told me what it was, but yeah, you get the little skull mace. He's just like, Paleotrex's face. Which I do like that we got a reference to it, which you can take out. It's on this little rope, and it's... Woo! And if you want, you can take your missiles out of the little missile holes. You can see down there. I'm not going to put both of them in because they look ridiculous, but you can shoot them all off one at a time. But that's a little bit of a stretch. Like, that's a little much. But let's check how strong the spring is. Let's bring in Spider-Man. Let's try to shoot him down. Oh wait, it's the other way. Damn it. I missed. Let's try again. Fare thee well, Spider-Man. Nope. Don't wanna fire. I think I put it in wrong. Or does it go in the other one? Because sometimes the missiles work better in certain missile launchers. Yep. Well, it hit him. The spring was obviously probably downgraded from the original, but you can. It comes with 4 of them. It comes with 4 of these missiles, so you can just store 2 of them back here. But if you go back to the knob, oh wait, you gotta like pump it up a little bit, like get the gears going. So you gotta. Okay, wait, it's still on the one mechanism. You gotta make sure they're really clicked in there. You gotta make sure you hear that click, like yeah, you gotta hear that click. Oh god, oh there it goes. Like that, see, no, this one's not going. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's rearrange it. Oh god. For whatever reason, mine right now is not wanting to stay locked in. See, it keeps undoing itself. I don't know why. There we go. There, you got the flail going. God, this is such a fun gimmick. I could just, that's why I love this toy. Just look at that flail go. Woo! It's coming. Oh my god, that's a fun gimmick. And if you notice, there's a little button on his butt. If you want to load him out. You also got, if we put this cannon arm away, if you really want, on either side of his butt, you can store his very iconic swords. Like do you have little like square holes that you put the little circles in? That's where you store them. But you can just load them into. Oh wow, these missile ones are these missile cannons are like way better than that one. Just fired on its own. I'm gonna have to go look for that. It went off camera. I'm not going to go find that right now. That missile, like, this had 2 missiles, and if you saw earlier, it just flew off there. I'm not gonna go looking for it. But you know what? There you have him all armed up. He's armed to his arms, so he's gonna come at you. He's gonna come at you with his swords or his flail, or he's gonna just yeah. Wait, let's get him. Yeah, there you go. Kick the shit out of Spider-Man. There we go. And overall, that's kind of the fun. You get the missiles, and you get the little button right here. Wow, the missile's still not powerful enough to, like, knock over anything. It definitely goes in a lot more than, which you have to get it just right on the right tab, which I don't know if that was the original thing, or if that's something to do with it being a reproduction. I'm not quite sure. See, it's just not quite clicking back in like how it should. See, there it goes. And if we want to fire again, yeah, see? Let me go grab that. Oh, there's the other one. So, you can pretty much have him have that. You just put that back in. You put that one back in. And if you want to you can just, oh god. These are on a hair trigger apparently. Be careful. And there's that. And I do like that if you really want it to, it can really, you can get it to re-go inside. Well, I guess if you don't have the motion going. I'm having a little bit of a tough time getting that. Whatever. And overall, I think this is a ton of fun figure. You really do think this is a classic toy, and he's very big. bringing back, obviously, since he's still here from our little missile test earlier, here is Spider-Man. Let's bring back in Zero. Oh, God! Careful. He is prone to falling over, but I think that's because mine has really loose leg ball joints. But, yeah, there they are. See, he keeps wanting to fall over. I don't know. I think it's because of the hips or how I have him standing. But, like, yeah, look at, like, he's definitely not, like, jiggling around, but, like, he is, like, prone to falling down. And I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know if that's, like, a reissue thing or what. But let's bring in real quick. I will transform Cheetor. And here's Cheetor. They look pretty good together. Like, I don't think this is their exact scale. I feel like the Kingdom figures got the scale between Cheetor and Primal, like, a lot better. But, you know what? I don't mind him being that big. But let's bring in a modern Voyager class in Mutant Tigatron. He is bigger than him. And let's bring back Leader Ultra Magnus. And they're about the same size. Primal might, if you don't count the smokestacks might give Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus the lead, but like I think from the top of his head crest, he's taller than Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. So that's pretty impressive. And let's bring back in Grimlock. Let's get him out of here. But yeah, I didn't feel like transforming him. I just didn't feel like it. So, that is that. And that is Beast Wars Optimus Primal. I like this figure a lot. I think this is a staple. Like, this is a classic toy where it's like, even though I have a modern, like, a better, more articulated version of this, I'm glad I have this toy. This toy is just so iconic and have such fun gimmicks. Like, I love the arm gimmick. Like, the arm gimmick is something there's a reason I have this nearby my, like, desk at all times, because I just like fiddling with it. It's one of those ones where it's like, I think it's a really fun toy, and it still holds up to today, where it's like the gimmicks somewhat intrude on its articulation, but if you get it into a pose, in spite of that, it can hold them. Where it's like, obviously this can't, like, stay in the air or anything, but, like, what are you going to ask for when it's just a rope? But you can get him into poses, so I think that's really kind of cool. And it's cool to see something from, like, the early 90s still be able to hold up today. Where it's like, it's obviously not modern, like, ankle pivot and double jointed knees kind of technology, but you can get him in a ton of poses and a ton of looks. You can have his cannons deployed. You can have him with the bat face. You can have him in gorilla mode. You can have him with his swords. You can give, like, him, like, a sword in each hand. Like, there's so many different possibilities to pose and play with this figure, and I really do like that aspect. Where it's like, I do kind of wish he had light piping, but, you know, like, the painted, like, red eyes, if that's paint, maybe it's, like, the same colored plastic as this, but ultimately, I still think looks really good. But overall, this is something I'm glad. It's like one of my favorite pieces in my whole Transformers collections. Even though it's a reissue, I would like to get the original someday. But to get it complete with the missiles, with the swords, and the flail, and have it all to be in somewhat working function. Like, I could imagine you could be running into these where the gears are just destroyed. So, I honestly am glad Hasbro released this, because I don't think I would be able to have a complete Optimus Primal without that. So, overall, this is something I really do love. Do you guys want to see me do the other Beast Wars figures? Do you want to see me do other Transformers? I might splash them in here and there, like, just the ones that I'm just like, oh, I want to talk about this. This is too much fun. So, expect more Transformers, but I'm glad that out of all of them, I'm starting with something that I think is both really interesting and really cool, and something I really do love. So, thank you so much for watching and seeing me ramble about this ape for several minutes. Probably several more than it needs to be. But thank you so much for watching. What do you guys think? What's your favorite Beast Wars figure? Which ones do you think are we hopefully will get in the re-release line? I'm really curious on what we're gonna get. So, thank you so much for watching, and until whatever I do next, bye.